Turn the phone back on, you're ready to rock and roll, baby. That's it. Your phone is activated at the register. Now, I'm not going to put you through the pain of setting up the phone with me, but we'll come right back once it's ready. You know, taking a look at the phone, it's not the ugliest, but it's definitely not that pleasing to the eye. But for a phone that normally costs $200 and I didn't pay for anything other than the service plan, it doesn't look so bad. It's got a MediaTek Dimensity 700 processor, a USB-C type charge port, a 50 megapixel back camera, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and 128 gigabytes of internal storage, which isn't all that bad. It also runs Android 13 and is pretty snappy for a budget phone. Now I'm going to leave this phone and come back to it in a few minutes, and I'm curious to see if it's installed a bunch of bloatware applications. If it hasn't, I'll be impressed. Which brings us to the next phone, the Moto G Play, and this one's on Family Mobile. Kind of like I mentioned before, Family Mobile is a T-Mobile company. I'm very impressed by the way Walmart packages these because they're dang near impossible to open. And don't worry, you won't be lost because there's not only one manual included, there's also a second manual, and you've got a third one too. There's actually more, but I didn't record them because they're smaller. But here's the phone, and this one's fairly decent. It's got a Qualcomm Snapdragon 680 4G chipset. It's also got a 50 megapixel back camera, which we'll put to the test in a minute, and it actually looks pretty gorgeous if you ask me.
Hello, Moto.
I will say the most annoying thing is when you unlock the phone, there's like this Facebook Messenger Motorola bubble that's always on when you unlock the phone. And I'm sure there's a way to disable it, but it's super annoying. Now, this phone has 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of internal storage, and it's pretty snappy. It's also good to see that it's running current Android 14, so that's good news. And the camera isn't half bad. I took some photos here, and I wanted to take a step further, so I recorded some video while I was at the gas station. This video is suppressed. It looks better when it's on the phone, but I was just recording watching the snow come down, and this looks pretty decent. What do you guys think? Is it worth it for $25 a month? I think it is if you need a phone, but that's just me. Once the phone had been on for about 5 minutes, I noticed that it was automatically installing applications, so we're going to come back in a few minutes and see what it installed. Now, of course, I had to save the best for the last, which is the Samsung Galaxy A15, and this one's on Straight Talk, which is operating off of Verizon towers, so this is an all-around good deal. Similar to the last one, this thing is freaking sealed shut so good, they're almost impossible to open without a knife. Just about broke my finger opening this thing. Gotta love the eco-friendly looking packaging that Samsung put in here. It looks kind of like this thing is wrapped in a kitchen napkin. It also comes with a USB-C type charge cable and a manual. Pretty minimal if you look at the other phones. Once you rip the paper towel off like you're about to eat a breakfast egg sandwich your mom made for you before school, this phone is beautiful. I mean, just look at the light reflect off of this thing. I also like the look of the cameras, and by the way, this back camera is 50 megapixels. Now, like I said, all these phones are budget phones. This one has a MediaTek Helio G99 chipset, which does the job for basic needs and starter phones. And none of these phones are flagships, but all of these phones are affordable budget phones that anybody could use if they need a deal. You know what I mean? The downside of these is I didn't install anything onto the phone, and I've already used 14% of the storage. But it's got a SIM tray, it's got a USB-C type charge port, and all these phones get the job done. Is anyone daily driving an A15 right now? Comment below. I did the same style of recording while I was sitting at the gas station. I just did some test video on all of these, and the A15 out of all of them looks the best. Love to see that Utah's getting some snow. This is the interior of a truck I'm driving. This is just a loaner vehicle because our primary car is getting worked on. And the A15 is spitting out some good video quality. This is really clear, you can see a lot of detail, and this video was suppressed because I transferred it over to a Mac. This is a back camera on the A15 5G. We're doing a video test here. How does this look? Look pretty good? Close up of my face. I'm going to use this A15 for about a week as well as the other phones and tell you guys how the experience was on Straight Talk as well as on these other carriers. And I think these are good phones and that it'll be fine. Now, my only gripe with all of these phones is when you set them up, they're automatically going to download a bunch of bloatware applications. So for example, I'm getting the Moto G Play here, and when we unlock this and take a look at it, along with that super annoying Motorola bubble that doesn't go away, you'll find that a bunch of applications just automatically have installed onto my phone, and I didn't give permission for any of these to be downloaded. Well, I probably did somewhere along the lines of me setting the phone up. It's just, yeah. So you have to go through and delete all these apps. Not a huge deal, but it is annoying. And I hate this Motorola bubble. Holy crap. Yeah, like, how has there been 17% of my storage